Hello, all of my guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Welcome back to episode 16 of Who Cares, where I talk about things you should care about. My name is Chelsea Chandos. I'm your host. This is Alan, our co-host. And today's topic is music therapy. I've always kind of been sort of a musical person. I learned piano and guitar when I was young, picked up the drums. I was sadly a choir kid. Wasn't a good era for me. But when the notion of music therapy came up, I was really interested just because I've always believed that music is sort of like a form of meditation. I don't know, it just like calms me weirdly. Like playing guitar is just like a very calming part of my day. I don't know. So our main focus today is what music therapy is and how it mitigates symptoms of dementia and how effectively it mitigates those symptoms. So when I first started researching, I typed in music therapy into the Google search bar, and a ton of stuff about dementia came up, which is super cool because dementia is kind of a medical entity. We don't really know what causes it, and we don't really know how to treat it or how to cure it. So it's really cool to hear that music therapy might be a possible treatment plan for dementia. I also didn't really know what dementia was. I thought I did, but I'm going to give you an official definition from the American Medical Association. Dementia is an umbrella term for several progressive diseases that affect memory, language, problem solving, and the individual's thinking ability, which interfere with their daily living activities. So dementia isn't its own disease. It's an umbrella term for a bunch of diseases such as Alzheimer's, and they have to affect all of the things I just listed, and they also have to be a progressive disease. A progressive disease is a disease that gets worse the longer you have it. So like every single day, your symptoms get a little worse and worse, which is a really big problem for dementia patients because most of their symptoms affect social interaction and communication, which makes it super hard to function in our society, and most of them have to be hospitalized. Also, dementia is a way more prevalent issue than I had previously assumed. 29.4 million people have dementia. That's like insane. I know sometimes it's hard to kind of like conceptualize numbers in our head. Like we hear numbers, we're just like, okay, cool. So I'm going to give you a state population. The population of Texas is 29 million people. That's just like wild. Like 29.4 million people have dementia. Like think about how many people live in Texas. I don't know. It's just like a lot more people than I presumed. Also, another problem that dementia patients face is that the medicines that they're prescribing to these dementia patients are like practically toxic. I Googled one of the most common prescriptions. It had a really medical name like Tabaloxa, whatever. And the first side effect, which means it's the most common, like it means it's the most prevalent in the patients who take it, was death. I don't know why they're doing this to dementia patients, but anyways, all of those reasons are why there is such a need for a new therapy or a new cure. So that's why like music therapy has come up. And I didn't know what music therapy was either. And it's not just, you pop it in your headphones and listen to some Tyler, the Creator or something. So I'm going to define it for you. Music therapy is a clinical and evidence-based use of music interventions to accomplish individualized goals within a therapeutic relationship by a credentialed professional who has completed an approved music therapy program. So basically what this is saying is that music therapy is a therapy. Like it requires a professional. You're not just sitting in your room listening to music. And there are two types of music therapy. The first is receptive, where you're sitting with your therapist and you're simply just listening to the music. You're not interacting with it all. And then in opposition, there's active music therapy, which is you're writing the music, you're playing the guitar, you're playing the piano, maybe you're dancing along. In some shape or form, you're interacting with the music. And both of these therapies have shown severe improvement for cognitive, emotional, behavioral, and psychological symptoms of dementia. And the best thing about music therapy is there's no side effects, literally none. No death side effects, I promise. And also it's pretty cost effective. Like therapists don't get paid that much from all the schooling they do. It's not that expensive. So you must be wondering, why isn't every single dementia patient receiving music therapy? It's cost efficient. There are no side effects. Like what is the con, right? So the main reason is there is no quantitative measure of music therapy. So there's no way to say like, oh, they improved this much because of music therapy. The only way you can see it is with your own two eyes, because they're improving in like mood, and you can't measure mood really, you know? And because of this lack of evidence, there's an increased pressure on medical professionals to prescribe pharmacological treatment. Next, I'm going to show you some of the effects that music therapy have had on dementia patients. I'm going to show you a video of a woman who used to be a dancer in her younger years but now has severe dementia. And in the video, the therapist puts the headphones on her ears and plays one of the songs that she used to dance to when she was younger. And you can see that she begins to remember some of the choreography from over 4 decades ago while having severe dementia, which is insane. So I'm going to play that now. That video gets me every time. I don't know. It's just like weird. Like the brain is such a weird entity that like no one really understands. Like there's so many things about the human brain that we literally can't comprehend as humans. So I don't know. It's just freaky to me. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I cannot wait to see you next time. Alan, say your goodbyes. Bye everyone.